Hey guys, Omni here. Welcome back. We're about to dive into the final episode of The Flash. The series finale airs tonight, and we're going to be saying goodbye to the Arrowverse as a whole, not just this show. So it is, I don't know. It doesn't feel real yet, like that it's all coming to a close with this. I've liked this last arc so far. I've really enjoyed it. Overall, the season's been a little bit of a mixed bag, but I like these last couple of episodes. I think ever since episode 9, it's just been firing. It's just been firing, man. We're down to the wire with this last episode. You know, Eddie has gone full on cuckoo, to say the least, and I can't quite blame him. He's definitely prime real estate for the negative Speed Force to kind of come in and twist his mind, given everything that he's just gone through and experienced. And it's just like this, such a full circle moment to bring everything back to season 1. And we ended with, again, him kind of allying himself with the Force, and it kind of showing him some of our favorite villain speedsters of the past. And I'm curious to see how they come into play, what that alludes to, and just kind of what all we get into in this finale, man. I feel like this finale's got a lot to kind of cover, and I'm very curious to see if it's going to land at all, and just, you know, see what happens. And honestly, just to kind of go along for the ride and, you know, say goodbye to the show that I've been following since the very first episode aired, man. It's crazy, dude. But guys, let's go ahead and strap in. If you want to see the full-length reaction, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if we got a memorable channel, gets you access as well. It is a watch-along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up the time codes of a reaction the entire episode. You get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover here on the channel. You also get to suggest and vote on what movies we react to each month. We got monthly Q&As, behind-the-scenes footage to try to make it worth your while, so you're always support the channel. Guys, if you enjoy this reaction, really appreciate it. If you leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already, and let's go ahead and hop into the final episode of The Flash. Here we go.
To understand what I'm about to tell you, you need to do something first. You need to believe in the impossible. Guys, can you hear me?
Oh, thank God you got out of there.
Barely. I'm on my way back.
Yo!
No temporal fracturing yet, boss.
It's already started in 2049. If it spreads here,
It'll threaten our entire existence.
Yeah, sounds about right. What in the world?
Because you can't hold me! You know that! Who dares disrupt my revenge?
What the fuck?
Last thing I remember, the Flash had just sicked his time wraiths on me. So that coward is responsible for bringing us here? I highly doubt it.
Yo! I love it.
That's Thawne. The man who helped the Flash defeat me. Any last words, Thawne?
Never wear white after Labor Day. Ends all of it. Love your work, although slightly derivative, don't you think? Pretending to be the Flash's ally. Let's see, whose playbook is that from? You mocking me? Now you're catching on. Good, Zoom. I'm the fastest man alive. No.
Not in this room. At least not with keeping up.
Velocity 9 Junkie, the fastest man alive. You're looking at him.
Oh, please.
God
I'm the
damn.
one true god of speed.
Oh my God. These guys.
I am. Before I bring this dimension to its knees, I demand to know who brought us here.
I did.
That's hilarious. They're all bickering over the same shit.
Meet Eddie Thawne, the dumbest branch on my family tree. Eddie Thawne, your Team Flash's old cop friend, right?
None of you were powerful enough or fast enough to defeat the Flash. But together, we can do what none of you could do on your own.
And tell me, just how does a complete waste of a human being like yourself plan to defeat the Flash?
Hot damn, dude.
You want more speed? I'll help you get it. Enough to kill the Flash. Now who's in?
God damn. That was such a fun scene. Part 4. Just finale. Fair enough.
It showed me the truth. And it gave me the power to kill Barry and end his bloodline forever.
You know, like what he tried to do to himself.
And without the Speed Force to bind it together, the timeline will fall. I'll make a new one where I'm the hero. It's not personal. I just want my life back.
What the fuck?
Now, any last words?
I've got 3. Run, Barry. Run.
I like Eddie, dude. I love his attitude in this. Yo, dude. Look at him go. Dude, he's really giving it. Oh, shit. Good.
Don't do this.
Oh. Nora.
When Grammy Cecile calls from 25 years in the past, you answer.
Yo, the team. Oh yeah, well he's got his own though. God. Dude.
Last chance to surrender. Flash.
Execute Delta maneuvers.
Wait, who took off against Thawne? Cause you don't stand a chance. Yo, Savitar and Nora.
Your mother escaped her fate, but you won't.
She can rewind time though, bitch. Or that works too. I thought she would do a reverse time thing.
Shui.
Dude, I gotta give it to Eddie, man. Jesus. His running looks so good.
You want a piece of my soul? How about a few dozen?
Shadoko Jutsu.
So you beat my copies, but I'm the real deal. The one true god of speed.
Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me?
Now that's how you do it, people. Woo!
No, fuck.
I love what you've done with the place.
We're gonna find a way to stop you.
Maybe. But either way,
Oh!
after I kill you, I'm gonna kill your boss because I don't care what any upgraded ancestor of mine might say. Barry Allen's life is mine to take, and so's yours.
No.
I already told you, Hunter. No one dies tonight.
No one dies tonight. No one dies tonight. God damn, dude. I've missed these guys, man. Jesus. Oh. It looks so much better this time. Oh, mega charging. Back at ya.
I get to kill you wearing the face of your old mentor, Nash.
Jeez. Thawne is literally just back there, passed out on the ground after all of that, man. What the? Oh! Yo! What the fuck?
Stole my speed.
Just another trick I picked up from my Earth 90 doppelganger.
Aww.
Let it end like this. I just need more speed.
Oh, he's gonna... He's taking back what he gave away.
If he keeps absorbing it,
He'll overload it and kill himself.
just like Thawne.
So we're gonna try to save him then? I will also give that Cecile, being a psychic meta, does have kind of an advantage against any physical metas in that way, especially with the escalation of her power. So I'll also give her a pass.
In the last Avatar I faced, I sat down. I stopped fighting. Thawne didn't. You want coexistence. But I'm sorry. It's impossible.
Then you need to believe in the impossible. Because it's the only way to create a better world.
We gotta get this Avatar to stand down somehow.
Your connection to the negative speed force is gonna kill you. You have to let it go.
You just want it all for yourself.
I want to save you. All that power is overloading your body.
You stole my life! I hate you!
I'm not gonna fight you anymore.
I saved everyone. You know why? Because I always win for...
Oh, wow. Wow.
Don't you see what's happening? You've become the person you died trying to stop. You were the answer. Thawne gave in to hate, but you can fight.
It can still be yours.
That's how we'll create a better world. Both sides working together.
Now! Kill him!
Jesus, man.
That's all I ever wanted to be. You're a hero.
Man, I feel so bad for Eddie, man. It's turning blue.
Just because I'm doing this doesn't mean we'll always see eye to eye.
I know. Together, we'll find a way.
Tell Iris. I'm happy for her.
That was a bit of a quick resolution, but... I get it.
Runker doesn't have a scratch on him, and I think I know why. Buddy, your blood is generating Hawking radiation at a molecular level.
Oh, still?
I have black hole powers? Like I'm a meta?
Technically, your genes do contain a consciousness-honed universally neutralized Kerr anomaly.
Hold on,
This entire time?
John C-H-U-N-K.
Oh.
Oh, dazzling Dwayne McDuffie.
Oh, the Dwayne McDuffie name drop. Oh, my heart.
Today is pretty weird, too. I mean, I'm about to be born on the other side of that wall.
Not weird at all.
Am I breaking timeline rules by being here?
A little. I wasn't gonna say much, but.
Hey! Holy shit.
I have to say goodbye to my family. I know that's the way of nature. Fall becomes winter, winter becomes spring,
But saying goodbye is hard.
even for a time traveler.
It's not the time travel that matters. What matters is carrying a piece of the ones you love wherever and whenever you go.
Aww.
Oh my God, she's so beautiful.
No. Damn.
Rest your head for the winder of time.
Aww. Man, it's getting me, man. And we got a song from good old Jesse there to close us out too. Man, I really wish Cisco could have been here. It also feels weird that it's not Caitlin and or Frost.
I will always be with you.
She is the Avatar. Oh.
Oh my God. Caitlin?
Hi, guys.
What the fuck? I honestly wish she was like, it's my time in this mortal body is done. I was like, is she gonna turn back into Caitlin? Yes! I got something out of that, I guess. 1 week later. It's been 1 week. That looks so good.
Keon really rubbed off on you, huh?
Maybe I should dye my hair blue.
No.
That's a good
Wow, this is hilarious.
You think it was a crazy 24 hours before I was born? Wait for Bart's due date.
And I know that wherever our dreams may take us, we will always keep loving each other. I would like to do this.
Oh, why did I think they were already married?
Wait.
Don't fuck up your knees. Yeah, man, I don't know why I thought this already happened at some point. I just assumed they were after a while.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
No.
Finally, am I right?
Man, I'm glad Harry's here. Oh, the runaway dinosaur.
Want to hear a story? Okay, but before I start, I need you to do something first.
Oh.
To stop crying.
Oh, god damn it. And believe in the impossible. He got me there, man.
To believe in the impossible, we need to do something impossible. Our family has been blessed with these amazing gifts. Maybe that speed shouldn't just belong to us anymore.
Oh, wow.
My
Oh,
friend
wow.
Oliver said that the lightning chose me. Well, now I'm gonna do the choosing. My name's Barry Allen, but their names are Avery Hope.
Time to go home.
Dude.
Max Mercury.
Dude.
Cool.
Maybe
Aww.
we can break out of our old cycles of violence and pain. Create a new world for you, Nora. One where we can coexist. All of us. Together. A world where nothing has to be impossible. As long as we believe in it.
God damn it, man. Man, I can't believe it's over, man. Man, I do feel like this was, at least like the resolution, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. I do feel like the resolution to Eddie Thawne, the negative speed force, the other villains he pulled back was just, it was just rushed. Despite all that, I will just go ahead and flat out say, definitely lacking in some areas of what I would have loved to have seen. You know, Cisco not being here, and I know they tried to make that work. You know, they talked about they attempted to make that work, but just they could not get the scheduling to land to make it happen. I get that, but in a perfect world, would have loved that. I got the surprise resurrection of Caitlin because I was like, it just feels weird that it's Keon and not Caitlin of all people that's here in this situation. And then it dawned on me for a minute. I was like, after this conversation, some things she's talked about, I was like, do you think if when she departs, the body she leaves behind will just be Caitlin's? And then that's exactly what happened. And I was like, holy shit, that was probably one of the biggest surprises in this episode for me. Again, Joe coming back in. Again, I wasn't expecting to see him past his departure episode, to be honest. Harry showing up, though thankfully he was also here as Thawne as well, so that was easy to bring him back in. You know, there was a lot of great full circle moments in here. Like, I love all of the resolution that came out after the whole villain face off. Like, I would have loved that to have been built up just a little bit more so they didn't have to rush it. Maybe it was a budget thing. I don't know as to why we just backloaded it all within the first 15-ish minutes of this episode. But I feel like we could have cut out some of the time in the other ones. Have Eddie have recruited them at the end of last episode. Or maybe even have a bulk of the fighting, like the climax, if you will, be that in the last episode. Because we could have trimmed down easily that second part. And then this could have been all epilogue. Or all the wind down, or, you know, it could have ended with them dispatching the other speedsters, leaving Eddie, you know, in the episode with Eddie sucking in all their powers, and then that final standoff, and then have him and Barry fight each other at the opening of this, and then come to a philosophical standoff. The whole, like, talk no jutsu for Eddie, it just happened too fast. Like, the whole situation. And I know everybody is leveled up in their own special different ways and all of that, but like, it is a little bit of a stretch to me that given the level of threat that these characters all individually had on their own for all of Team Flash when they were around, to be bested by a single member. I'll give it to Keon that she's a god and played Zoom's ego against himself. You know, he tried to just put us all in that one blast, and that was just a dumb move on his part. Eobard just getting, like, basically high-intensity flash grenaded by Allegra was a little goofy. Jester somehow surviving that, though they explained it. I like that they explained it, and I'm glad that they acknowledged that, because that's been a question that I've had all this time since the black hole incident, is where did that go? What did that even do to him? They never addressed it after they sucked it all out of him. So I'm glad that they brought that into play. And just Godspeed again getting just shafted so hard. Like, it does make sense in a way that a meta with Cecile's abilities would be able to be a formidable match for just somebody who's a speedster and stuff like that. Like, if you shut down a speedster's mind, it doesn't matter what you do, how fast they can run, how hard they can hit, or any of that stuff. So, like, I do get that aspect of it. Her playing Bop It, though, or Patty Cake with them was kind of funny. Not even gonna lie. Maybe it's just scenes like that where it does feel like that's what's kind of undercutting the villain's threat level a little bit, because on the outside, it just looks like she's like, sit down, sit down, sit down. And it's just kind of funny. I will say, though, like, Savitar got, I think, maybe the shortest end of the stick, because he had one little run and then got stabbed by Nora and was done. Like, she just got picked up, phased his blade through and was like, haha, snapped it off and gave him the shiv with it. That was it. Man, I was excited for some Savitar, man, because I think he gets a lot of crap, but he's still one of my favorites. There's a lot of elements in this that I still did really enjoy. Like, when they were all coming together and meeting, my God, was that so fun. That was such a funny scene. Like, them basically all saying the same thing. Oh, I'm God of Speed. I'm the fastest man alive. It was like, no, I'm the fastest man alive. Well, actually, I'm the God of Speed. The real God of Speed. And then Thawne's just like, hello, like he's coming out of a sitcom, coming down from upstairs. Children, come down. And here comes Thawne. And he's just like, you all are just a bunch of derivative punk bitches. And I loved that whole interaction between them all. And then Eddie kind of revealing himself, putting on the suit and being like, hey, we all hate the Flash right now. Let's kick his ass. And his suit looked really good, man. I really liked the reveal. I liked how it manifested. I loved Eddie's performance in this episode. I thought he was really, really, really good at playing that villainous side. Even though, like, I feel like Barry had a little bit of an easy way to his heart there when he did have that conversation with him. I can kind of excuse that, though, because Eddie does have a pure heart. He's just been corrupted by this trauma and this supernatural force trying to get in his head. So I will kind of give it that Barry's able to kind of pull that out of him regardless. I can kind of wave that one away a little bit. And you know what? I loved seeing Tom back as Reverse Flash. Now, it makes sense here for it to be Tom. It's been established, it's been him. It's not like a hey ho ho, here's Tom again. He just kind of pulled his ass out of nowhere. He was specifically targeted at a specific point in time and pulled out where he was that Flash. Totally fine with that. And I liked his performance in this. Honestly, I think he looked he looked a little bit better in the suit this time around than he did the first time with the upgraded suit. I know I've been very vocal about, at this point, we need to let Tom stop playing this role, that it just, at this point, it's kind of ridiculous that he still looks like Harrison Wells with him popping back up. I think especially for the finale, it makes the most sense to include Tom because he has that connection with Barry, with Grant. So that makes the most sense. And then plus you get to have him in a later scene as Harrison Wells coming in to kind of play that role as well. So we got to kind of get the duality of Tom Cavanaugh in this as a Wells and as Thawne himself. That's kind of the only way you can really close out the show if you're going to include Thawne at all. And you have to include Tom. I mean, he's such a pivotal part of the show. I mean, with the whole new Wells every season kind of thing that they were doing, he's such, for a long time, was such a staple of the show and like just part of the formula. Godspeed, again, just whatever. He's hardly a character. He is basically just a single emotion. Aside from when he wasn't Godspeed, when he was like just August Hart and he was just confused about what was going on, that was the most interesting that character had been. And then they just kind of dropped it once his memories came back and he just turned pure evil. And that's the version we got here. Zoom, again, was just horny for more speed. What else is new? But their interactions was just great. And then Thawne just being like, you know, playing the good guy, playing the friend to get close to the Flash, just to kind of take them down from the inside. Little derivative, ain't it? I did like that whole shtick between them all. Even if, like, I do think that they kind of got shortchanged in the battle, that they definitely didn't live up to what we've seen them do in the past. I still had fun with a lot of those elements in the episode. And I think the back half of this, as we were bringing everything to a close, I did think that bit of it, while the conclusion to the Cobalt Blue arc felt a little tad rushed, I was worried about them kind of wrapping as all of this stuff up in just this final episode with how much we had left over, about whether or not they were going to be able to execute that. Even though that was kind of, you know, accelerated, I do like the back half of it and the way they kind of was put in a bow tie on everything with Barry towards the end. There's a lot of really good elements in this, even if I think the overall presentation was quite rocky. I won't pretend it's not. And I do want to like say the action in this episode, when we did have it, I thought looked great. The effects in this episode were fantastic. I think some of the best we've had in a long time. And I think that's one of the main reasons why this was so front-loaded with a lot of those standalone episodes. There's some smaller scales of threats and such, because they really kind of saved it all for this back half, given that their budget was cut for this whole run. They were given a set order, so they had to fulfill the 13 episodes. They couldn't just do 5, 6, whatever. So they had to fill that out. So I guess in the long run, I think they made the right call there. I just wish there was another way that they could have made some of that other stuff a little more tense and interesting. Though there were some fun little moments. I did really like the episode where Grant and Candice were trapped in that time loop. Speaking of them, I think they did really good this season. I think they felt present. I think they felt, and maybe it's because they knew the end was coming and it was coming up, and maybe that gave them some juice. And I know there's some other stuff going on behind the scenes back in the other seasons that maybe kind of weighed them down, or maybe it was just the writing. I don't know. It could have been a number of things, but it definitely felt like they were here, and I love seeing them together. I liked their chemistry again this season. I thought they were just electric together, pun intended. And I really liked a lot of their interactions throughout this, and even their interactions with other characters throughout this season. I really enjoyed the performances they both gave. What I would have loved to have seen is instead Jay, Barry, Bart, Nora, have our speedsters versus theirs. That would have been wild. That would have been epic. But I don't want to spend all day talking about woulda, coulda, shoulda. While this isn't the perfect conclusion that I would ask for, it did still hit a lot of the emotional beats and get that feeling out of me of this conclusion. It poked all the right nostalgia beats. It played all the right cues. It had these little soft moments between Barry and Iris with these with these memories flooding back to before, the idea that now that the lightning has chosen him, as opposed to being the lightning bolt that goes back to give him his own powers. I like that. It's like the world goes on. I'm giving that lightning to others now to carry on that mantle and carry on that torch and spread that power to those who can also help guide that lightning. I do like that element of it because it also shows that the world moves on. There's so many beautiful little moments, to the little dinosaur book, to Nora holding Nora, to Joe proposing to Cecile, to Harry and his discussion about time and moments in life, and kind of Keown's own perspective on that. There's these nice little moments that just kind of give me this warm, fuzzy feeling that I'm just like, I don't want to say goodbye. As much as I think it's like time to cut the cord, there's still that side of me that doesn't want to say goodbye. Like seeing that final run with Barry at the end was just, that was a little difficult to watch, man. Oh my God. Like, I'm going to miss the show. I'm going to miss this universe, man. Even though it's definitely had its valleys, it's definitely had its pitfalls, but it's had so many beautiful, just soaring highs. It's meant and been such a huge part of my life for so long. I just like, I miss it already. Us losing a pillar every year, basically, 2 in one sweep at one point. So like it's just been slowly deteriorating, this beautiful thing I watched blossom from the very get-go, like from the first branch from Arrow, expanded to this tree that became this universe, and it was done on this small budget in this very extremely hindered way from a parent company that honestly did damn near everything it could do to make sure that this wouldn't succeed at all. And we even have 9 seasons of The Flash is a testament to just the way they were able to kind of sell this thing, man, with just heart, passion, love, fun, and energy. And I don't feel like any of that was ever lost along the way, even if the stories waned, even if not every episode landed or worked. there was always some really peak stuff in there, sprinkled throughout, even in the later ends. There's still some good episodes that I really, really did enjoy, even in these last couple of seasons. Even if I do think the best seasons are still like the first 3. I just have a love for this show that, you know, I'll just always be here for it. And I don't know. I'm just gonna miss it, man. And there's a convention where Grant and Steven are gonna be at. That's like a 5.5 hour drive in July. I'm probably gonna go, just because why not? Now's the time, if any. I'm pulling the cord on that. That's for sure. You know, I love that we carried on Oliver's words, his guidance into this final season, into this final arc, and into the final scene. That, like with Oliver giving encouragement and guidance to Barry, now Barry is now passing that on to those that will come after them. And I like that it's kind of like, you know, a trickle down effect from the two, from where we started to the next generation, and so on and so forth. And I like that aspect of it. Like, there's a lot of elements I like about this, and I really did like this final graphic novel. I do think that despite some, like, changes I would have made, and I know that they did what they could, there was a lot of things that did kind of happen, and budgets and restrictions and whatever. I get it. So, like, it has its hindrances, and while it's not the perfect finale I would have loved to have seen, I feel like it was substantial enough. I think this season probably should have just been the lead up to this, though, because I do feel like the season as a whole did kind of have a little bit of a lulled start. Like, it really didn't feel like the season kicked off until the Oliver episode. The Red Death stuff was fun for the novelty of it at the time, and I did like the whole Rogue stuff. It wasn't a complete dropping of the ball, but it did kind of land flat in the end when Red Death was just kind of like nothing in the grand scheme of things, and didn't even live up to their name at all. Not even a single civilian perished in that whole thing, in that whole ordeal. I still had a lot of fun with the show, and I still love these characters. And even though the quality may wane here and there, I still like spending time with these characters, even if it's a bad episode. Even that makes sense, because we're still here, we're still together, we're still hanging out, they're still there for me to watch and check in on. At the end of the day, that can't last forever, and there's no longevity in that. And I'm happy for Grant. I'm happy to see what he moves on to. I'm happy to see all these other great actors move on to other things and just kind of see what happens next. It's sad. Like, I don't know how to quantify this feeling right now, because like with Arrow, it was like one of my favorite shows ever came to an end, and that was hard. That was painful. And because of some bullshit with WB, I did have my reactions up to that finale, but that's now been lost. I don't even know if I have a copy of it anywhere now at this point, because I had to remove it because of some copyright thing, and then it got cleared up, but then I couldn't find it after the fact, so I don't know what happened. But I do have all of my Crisis reactions up, and then after Crisis, I did cover every Arrowverse show till their end. We'll have that until WB comes a striking away again, if they do. But guys, I don't know. I'm gonna miss this universe so much, man. Like, I would sell the MCU to keep all of the Arrowverse shows alive again, and bank on the promise that we were given, that was made to us after Crisis on Infinite Earths. COVID did so much damage to what they were going to do and what they had planned with all of these shows, with this universe. The whole intent was to bring them all together on one Earth, so there didn't have to be any wacky shenanigans to be like, why is this character over here? That was the whole point. And then that all got derailed between that, behind the scenes drama on other shows, and actors getting replaced, and it was just a whole snowball effect. Who knows what this whole thing could have looked like at this point. I'd like to say that they did the best that they can. I would like to believe that they did the best that they can with the circumstances in play. I don't know. We saw some evidence that Eric Wallace could write and direct decent stories here in the last couple of episodes. So, like, I'm just wondering, like, where did that get lost in translation along the way? But I don't want to spend too much time complaining about the show or complaining about the final moments or anything like that, because it had so much love for what this show has been. There was so much for the fans that have been here from the very beginning to just kind of chew on and embrace and hold close for one last time before we say our goodbyes. And again, like I said, while not perfect, I think this was a pretty decent finale given the circumstances. And again, it is not the worst finale I've seen. There's some stakers that I've seen, man. So like, this doesn't come anywhere close to them. But I'm just sad, man. Oh. I don't want it to be over, dude. I was just always holding out hope that once we kind of get over this hurdle, the whole universe would be fine again. And then one by one other link from the chain got disconnected. We still have it. It's still here. Unless HBO Max, unless Netflix decides to delist it with HBO Max and Disney Plus and all these other places, just be like, we don't feel like carrying these shows anymore. I swear, I hope these don't get delisted. After all this stuff, I'm like half tempted to just go buy every season of these shows while I still can, before God knows what happens with Zaslav and they get deleted forever. Or if, well, with these, a bulk of these shows, they're on Netflix, so they're safe there until Netflix starts doing that. So we'll cross our fingers, but I really do want to just kind of go back and just play through all the adventures from the beginning and just kind of relive the glory moments, man. Oh, it really feels weird. It really feels like a piece of me is missing, thinking about the fact that there's not going to be another show to tune in for. Maybe not even next week, but not even like next broadcast season. God, I hate this feeling, man. I've witnessed many a show end, and it's always the same feeling of this gap, this missing piece of my soul is just gone. Time heals those wounds. You look back, you love the time you spent, and you revel in the memories. And who knows, maybe something will come about in the future if DC dabbles back into the multiverse again. Maybe they'll do some comic storylines. Maybe they'll do like a little mini-series thing here and there to check back in on them. You never know these days with anything, man. And right now we still got at least confirmed 4 more episodes of Superman and Lois. We still have no confirmation on whether or not we're getting a season 4 yet. And things aren't looking good for that. So every DC thing on the CW might as well just evaporate anytime soon here. We still have the last half of Doom Patrol's final season to look forward to. And then pretty much the only DC content we will have around is whatever comes from the new regime. It's a weird spot to be in because it's like that empty breath before you have to try to take a dive. Kind of feels like we're in this moment where it's like that moment where your stomach, right as you're about to go over the hill of like a roller coaster ride, the first big hill before you take the drop, like when that sinking feeling when you're just like, we're trapped in that moment as DC fans at the moment because we're between universes, not even on the small screen, but on the big screen as well. And we just, with all these like Titans, with the Arrowverse evaporating away, with Doom Patrol ending, with Superman and Lois's continuation in the air, and the DCEU breaking apart as it will be completely deleted once the Flash movie comes out in a few weeks. We're just at this point where we're just like holding our breath, wondering what the next thing is. It's almost like this weird leap of faith moment we're at right now where based on whatever happens next, we're either going to sink or swim or have another decade of insanity, man. But anyway, guys, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. I had fun with the finale, even if I did have my issues with it. I am so torn up about saying goodbye to these characters. I'm going to miss Grant as this Flash. I'm going to miss seeing John Wesley Shipp back in here because he was the first Flash I actually grew up with. And I love that the show kept him around in all these strong pivotal roles, made him the Jay Garrick of this world, made him Barry's father, and that Grant was such a great new Barry Allen in this world that honestly, there's been no match in live action, in my opinion. That said, guys, what is your thoughts? What is your feelings? Like, how are you reconciling with the end of this universe? For us, at least the end of our participation in this universe. Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. I hope you enjoyed this reaction. If you did, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already, And remember, if you want to see the full length reaction, you can check it out over on Patreon or become a member of the channel because you access as well. Before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny Sherritt, Ryan Karen, Jason Coleman, Philly Vane, Yori Korscott, Margaret Grace, Melito, Robert Anguiano, Jeffrey Hale, M. Sephiroth, Jake and Shroud, Tiff, and Eric Official. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. But that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.